Well, welcome back. Here I am with my good mate, Jono, the Kinder Surprise Kinderman. Always a pleasure to be sitting down with him. Exciting show this morning. First thing I want to ask, Jono, is would you like to make $1 million? Because I have the secret.
Do I have to keep my clothes on?
Unfortunately, you're going to have to create an account. You might have to. We're going to get into it. I'll save it for the viewer. But there's a secret on how to make $1 million within 3 hours, apparently. We're talking, of course, about Lil Tay. I actually didn't know who that was until Jono said, have you seen this story? This is wild. Lil Tay makes $1 million in OnlyFans money, apparently within 3 hours. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, Sydney Sweeney and the story around that. And basically, just as we like to say here a few times on the show, woke is dead, because it turns out that you just can't make money when you put out woke stuff. And it seems like now, going back to what people are saying, good-looking people, normal-looking people, is how you make money. Who would have known? We've got that, and we've got the Clintons being subpoenaed to congressional oversight with a whole other bunch of names. But, mate, let's jump into... We want to start with Sydney Sweeney?
Sure, why not?
Man, let's play the ad in case you've been living under a rock, or perhaps, actually, that's not fair to say, maybe you just have a life and you don't spend all your time following the stuff that we're talking about. And maybe we're here to serve you what you've missed over the last week. So you're out there, you're being great parents, you're working, you're providing, you're doing life, but you might have missed, first of all, who's Sydney Sweeney? Well, we're going to show you. She just did a little ad, and apparently it's controversial. But this is the ad for American Eagle jeans. This is the ad that's got everyone talking.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
Good jeans.
Or that they make your butt look amazing.
Highly controversial.
But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
So
It's a very good play on words, isn't it? It's quite creative.
yeah, talk about it. Let's talk about it. I don't get the, first of all, I don't get the controversial part, but play on words. Tell me the play on words.
Well, a play on words is obviously saying she has great genes because she's
She has
good looking.
great genes,
Yes,
right? Yeah, okay.
You know, the focus isn't about the genes,
Okay.
but that's the story behind the story. But, you know, it's interesting. I'm not saying I think we should take fashion and advertisements back to the 90s where it was cocaine fueled and anorexia and eating disorders and all that. I'm not saying that is a good image for people at all, because it's not.
Okay.
You know, that's the far extreme. That
Yeah.
I'm more thinking about the next generation watching this, how they're influenced.
Yeah.
But the wheels really fell off over the last 10 years, where we had not only trans folks, we had very unhealthy, overweight people, and they were trying to normalize that the average person can wear these kind of jeans or this kind of bra or whatever. But it's more about an agenda that they're trying to push. So my biggest problem with this is, yes, is Sydney an attractive girl? Of course she is. She's beautiful. But she's a healthy looking person.
Yeah.
She's healthy.
She's not anorexic.
She's not anorexic. She's not overweight.
Yeah.
And I have a real problem with people who are overweight. If you are too lazy or don't prioritize your health, you need to fix that for your kids, for yourself. Now, because all of a sudden they put out this ad campaign that has an attractive person in it, the far left, the far woke are just in outrage and wanting us to ban it. Do you know American Eagle stock rose by 23%?
Not surprised.
After this ad campaign. Trump came out and just said, you know, Senior's got great genes. In a little bit creepy way, but anyway, the fact is that it's just a normal ad. It's a normal ad how they used to be, but because it's an attractive person, alarm bells are going off.
Why do you think the stock went up?
Because people support it. And people think it's great that we're finally breaking the barrier of wokeness.
Yeah, people just actually realize.
Hell yeah, we're going to support them. Good on them.
People just realize that, hang on a second, the facade of woke and the facade of being ultra progressive and basically celebrating stuff that was, one, unhealthy and also wasn't normal in a lot of circumstances. And now they're saying, oh, we can get behind a company, not because you're anti other stuff, but the point of being a shareholder in something is what? To make money, right? To make money. So there's people who make these decisions over these ads, right? And in the past, they've been pushed by probably the people at the top, which is your BlackRock, your Vanguard, those sort of, when there was an agenda for for transgender stuff to be pushed through, and there was a real agenda, and people were going broke over it, but still doing what they were told because of DEI targets and stuff like that within the company.
Guess who do you think the largest shareholder of American Eagle is?
Who?
Have a guess. Go on.
I'm BlackRock. Is it
BlackRock,
Yeah.
Vanguard, all the boys up the top there. So, you know.
So they've worked out just recently.
They need to make money.
At the end of the day, you got to make money, because once you start losing the money, you won't have the power or control to push your agenda. So people have to remember that this was a very simple ad. I'll just play it in the background there for the viewer, those who missed it the first time, just quietly. But those, people, you got to realize this ad has been made, and the people who have put it together have said, listen, we need to put something out there that's going to make money. Now, how long's advertising been around for? How long's TV's been around? Sometime in the 60s or 50s or whatever it was.
Before the fake moon landing anyway.
Just before that, right? So advertising
mid-60s.
I'm thinking the guys in New York, the big advertising companies, the tobacco companies, and tobacco and airlines was the big things, right? So advertising has been around for, I don't know, give or take 60, 70 years in this kind of way. Now, for 2 years, the woke had a go at it. And for 2 years, every company that touched something woke lost money drastically.
Yep.
They got boycotted by people. Target people wouldn't go to Target. Bud Light, they had Kid Rock out there just blowing beer to the sky with his machine gun.
Yep.
So people have realized it's a cool message for those who want something, a flag to wave and something to talk about on Facebook, but it doesn't make money because the majority of people don't believe in it.
100%.
Squeaky wheel believes
Even
in
the
it.
people that were quiet now feel like they have a voice.
Yeah.
So you're going to have them outspoken ones that weren't before.
I want to show this video. But we're going to get to the controversy part, guys, because you've seen us talk about the ad. We've talked about her jeans and jeans. But here's the response from the left. And if you haven't seen it, you're going to be a little bit confused. It's a far stretch. But apparently, if you support this, you are a Nazi. This is the take.
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has.
I mean, sex
Totally
sells,
just talking
you
about
know?
denim, right?
Like,
Listen to this. Listen
Just
to
a
this guy take.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman explaining how her good genes gave her personality and purity. I mean, are we really going to pretend that this isn't a little fashy-coded? Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda
come on.
poster
Oh
and
my
expect
gosh.
people not to catch that reference. Good genes used to
I
mean
mean, you've
racial
got to have
purity and
mental issues to be on the path that like this woman has, right? To have that kind of issue with something like this. You're not all there, are you?
She reminds me, just that pause as we just showed this clip here. That reminds me, it's a bit of an Abby Chatfield vibe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit low key version, but
she's definitely
on the same
converted her
wavelength.
son to become a woman for sure.
100%.
and fashion
Allegedly.
circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching fashion aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, trad wife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think
So if you missed it, basically, if you like that ad, or apparently she's saying that American Eagle knew exactly what they were doing, and they were referring to the genes and referring to Nazi propaganda that this is the elite supreme race. Just a jeans ad, people, with a blonde chick. Turns out blonde chicks sell products.
Clearly it worked.
And
It's
it
making them
works.
money. So hopefully you're going to see more of it now.
Let's see Trump's response, because the big news around it too was that it was leaked or it was shared or it was put out there that she's actually a registered Republican. So she's not someone who says I'm I'm independent.
The
Sorry,
silent
or
Hollywood vote.
yeah, she's actually a registered Republican. And this is Trump hearing about it for the first time. I love the way he responds. This is true Trump. Ready?
President, actress Sydney Sweeney came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney, she's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican? Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans.
Yeah.
That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
President, actress
How else is we going to respond? Yeah. amazing times. So I don't know why it's caused so much stir. I tried to show where we've come from, right? So through COVID, and it was a weird time, right? Through COVID, it was kind of like COVID, woke agenda, really progressive stuff on the left, bit of communism, socialism, and then this ad I played before while you were. This is where we've come from. This is what it was like.
Yeah.
Not really a fat shaming piece here, guys. This is more like just pushing the transgender, and they wonder why that didn't sell. You got that, or Sydney's gone, or Sydney's ad. You can see the difference, and you can see why companies now are getting behind it, because remember, like I said, there's people behind closed doors, and their ultimate job as a marketing executive or an advertising executive or someone who sits on the board to make sure the direction of this company is like, we need to make money. What makes money? Well, we worked out the last couple of years that people actually boycott us. They hammer us online. They don't buy our products if we talk about trans stuff or woke stuff or tell them how to live their life or push agendas. People just want to go back to good-looking people or just normal people.
Let's see what brands kind of follow suit here, and they've seen the success, and maybe American Eagle have paved the way a little bit now for others to jump on board and go, let's go back to old school. Sex sells, yes, healthy people. Get it back in front of people. That's such a small minority to have transgender into underwear ads and things like that. So let's hope the world comes back to a place of normality.
What about this one? I'll show you the photo here of, you would have saw this one. This was what Nike put out. You've already won. Nike put that ad out. I mean, some of the previous ads that Nike have been a part of too. Again, not a fat shaming thing, but they've come a long way. This is some of the stuff that we've been dealing with over the last couple of years. This is the comparison.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this, right? But it's not a picture of athleticism.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not here to fat shame people.
Not at all.
But it's not a healthy image to project to anyone out there. To normalize, it's okay to be fat so you can get heart issues, so your body is susceptible to all these other illnesses now, so you can live a short life because you're happy being overweight. No, that's not what we should be encouraging. She's full of seed oils and carbohydrates right now. So she needs to get back on the protein. And yes, some might be offended by this, but that's the way it is. Like, look after your body. It's going to fuel your mind. It's going to fuel your body for longevity for your kids. Be physically active for them so you can actually push them on the swing for more than 3 minutes.
Yep.
Anyway.
I hear you. Now, look, there's a market out there for people on both sides. Like, I'm looking at these two here. There's a market for people here. There's some people who support this, and there's some people who support this. But I would just say the majority of people out there, I mean, given the Trump victory that he had into his presidency and the overwhelming support for him, which is traditional values, the family unit, conservatism, capitalism, man, raising kids, earning money, looking after your family, lower taxes, or closing the border, celebrating Americans first. This is kind of the difference.
And with the whole Scotty thing, there was during this period as well, you wouldn't have ads with people who were Christians or anything like that as well. Yeah. Scotty's obviously a very proud man of faith.
Yeah,
talks about it proudly that God comes first to him, and they obviously know he's the number one player in the world. So you need to obviously do campaigns around him, but you're not boycotting people with faith now as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's have a look at Lil Tay. What, Jono? Why don't you introduce us to Lil Tay? I think I've got a story. Here it is. Here. Tell me a little bit about Lil Tay.
I know her as well as the pimple on my backside right now. I've hardly got to meet them for long, but anyway. This is kind of sad and disturbing, and we talk about this all the time, where the next generation is going. But this Lil Tay, she was 17 years old. She obviously had a big following at 3 to 5 million. It's quite a large account. I think she's got who knows what for. I'll be honest, I don't think she's that good on the eye, but, that's my opinion.
Right.
The moment she turned 18, 12:01, she flipped over on OnlyFans. I don't know what she started showing. She made $1 million within 3 hours and set the world record for the most amount of money made in a short period of OnlyFans.
That is crazy.
Now, what I want to talk about, that $1 million, where's it coming from? Now, I think there's two categories that this fits in mainly. There's obviously, I'm sure there's women, I'm sure there's a bunch of people looking at this stuff. But you've got your sick, perverted men that probably live in their mum's basement still.
All right.
that have no social interactions with girls, probably go and work at the video store during the day and have a creepy midnight scrolling through the internet for dark web things.
Yes.
You've got that bracket. Then you've got probably teenage boys is probably a very big bracket because, again, you've got access at your fingertips to look at anyone, naked, not naked, on the internet now, porn, all these things. Now, what's this doing for the next generation of teenage boys? You're treating women, going to treat women like objects. You're going to be socially retarded even further.
Yep.
Because you're going to avoid going out to a bar to chat to a girl or whatever it is like this. So, yes, this is cooked, the whole story around this. But to me, the scariest thing is where that sets up the next generation, because this is going to encourage 13, 14, 15-year-old girls to do the exact same thing as soon as they turn 18.
Absolutely. Yep.
So where this is going is highly disturbing. It makes me want to move out to the middle of nowhere and have zero access for my kids because she is an influencer. She's got, was it 3 million or something followers? That is a big reach of people that she's not only making money from, but she's influencing how they're going to live.
I'll quickly read the story just so, again, for those people out there living a life and you're just here to catch up quickly. Controversial social media personality Lil Tay makes over $1 million in 3 hours. At the start of the show, I asked Jono if he would like to make $1 million. And this is what I was alluding to. In 3 hours after joining OnlyFans on her 18th birthday. We're going to dive into a little bit here, Jono, but I looked up, trying to find some screenshots of something of what she kind of advertised to do. And basically she sold, this is sick also at a few levels. She sold this almost like countdown clock to turning 18. We're going to talk about what that, it's a weird dynamic, right? That there's men sitting there waiting for someone to turn 18 in order to then feel like it's legal for them to buy her OnlyFans. This is sick and crazy. This is the world, though. It might be legal. I think you're a sicko if you were sitting there waiting for a 17-year-old child, especially when you're like, you think how old we are now, 38, 39, early 40s, right? That's a kid. That's a kid.
Yeah, but you remember we talked about I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But there's the other account that is an OnlyFans. It's something else that you have to be 13 to 15 or something, and you can just post swimwear and stuff, and it's still a paid services. So, yes, you can't show certain things.
Yeah.
But you've still got creepy old men who can check out very young teens now.
It's unbelievable. So the controversial internet personality Lil Tay claims that she made more than $1 million within 3 hours of launching her OnlyFans account on her 18th birthday. So what she did on her Instagram, which she has, I can't remember if it's 3 or 5 million. I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want my algorithm to then start showing me her.
I'll do one for the
but
team.
Do one for the team. I think she's got between 3 and 5 million followers on Instagram. Now on her story, she's sort of running this countdown clock on her story, and basically she was selling
5.8 million.
5.8 million. It's a lot of people
On one platform.
So she's been on social media as well as a young kid, I think from 7 or 8 years old. 2018, she launched herself on social media. So the social media star announced that the launch of her OnlyFans page at 12:01 a.m. So she's 18 and 1 minute old.
I looked at her stories. I regret it already.
As soon as she turned 18, calling herself the youngest girl.
Freshly 18.
Yeah, it's so bad. The youngest girl on OnlyFans, and then she linked her account. On Sunday, she sent a screenshot of her earnings with her 5.8 million Instagram followers, claiming she had broken the platform's record. 1 million in 3 hours. We broke the F out of the OnlyFans record, she wrote. For all the grown haters, which is probably me at this point, who've been hating since I was 9 years old. Well, didn't hear about you until you...
Wait. Hating since she was 9 years old.
So she's been on social media since she was 9.
Yeah, so like you said, you've had the countdown, all these creepy creeps just waiting.
They've been watching. Ugh. Where's the parents? The parents used to be real estate agents, apparently, who used to let her... A little bit of context.
They're probably part of the business
I
now.
think, allegedly, this could be wildly wrong. This was some ChatGPT search, and sometimes ChatGPT just gives you wild answers. But apparently her parents, allegedly, were real estate agents or whatever, and they used to let her film videos in people's listings houses. And so they end up stepping down.
It's like that. It's like the Bonnie Blue chick that sleeps with 1,000 men in 24 hours. And she's got her whole family in the business.
In the business of selling her soul. For all the grown haters since I was 9 years old, what have you all got to say? Well, we've got a few things to say.
Yep.
You've been doubting me for 7 years. We still doubt you. You can hate me all you want. We don't hate you. We just feel really sorry for you and sorry for your soul.
Find Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you need to find Jesus. You can't say Lil Tay ain't winning. Unfortunately, you are on a one-way street to losing everything, including your soul. Can be redeemed, but you're not on a great path, she said in a video. Obviously, I added a few things in. I was talking to her directly.
Because you know where that's going to her. What's the natural progression?
Tell me, what are you saying?
Porn.
Of course. Of
Because
course.
she'll end up getting a stupid offer from some production to be in a porn.
Yeah, she will. Well, I mean, she's already doing this. That I would say she's
Slippery slope.
that she's already come to crazy use of words. She would already.
Hot dog down a hallway.
I would say that she's already in her mindset knows thinks that that's okay, and obviously the parents are saying that this is okay. I mean, the parents would be part of this deal, 100%. That they would be allegedly they would be a part of this deal, right? Got to be careful now with the free speech laws in Australia. You can't say anything.
Yeah. Hear a knock at the door.
She went on to encourage others to live life on their own terms. Well, that again is a fast way to not find enlightenment or salvation. So for everybody out there, do whatever the hell you want with your life. Who gives a F what people have to say? And remember this, Lil Tay rich and finna get richer.
And who?
And it's just he's showing your age. She's finna get richer. That's what she's saying. According to Tay's post, more than $511,000 came from subscriptions, while $486,000 and a few extra were earned through private messages. This is her. Don't want to show too much of it because she's, in my eyes, that's a kid, and I think it's highly inappropriate. Man, let's talk about it a little bit. What's your thoughts? Do you agree with me, Jono? And this comes to people like what's the actor Leonardo DiCaprio who never dates anyone over friggin' 18 or 19.
21 or something.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on old men who seem to date or look at younger women like 18, 19 when you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s or whatever, even in your 30s? I'm like, man, they're kids. They're literally kids.
It's back to the old, you go to Vietnam and you see the bars full of old expat men who want the lady, not just the lady boys, but young Asian girls, because they can hold the power in their eyes. They're probably very weak men that have no morals and wouldn't know how to develop a strong relationship with a girl, a woman, or whatever. So they probably picked the wrong woman and they're being walked over because they're a weak man. And that's why they'll then go and find younger or Asian girls or something, like I said, so they can have some kind of power trip going on. Now with this, it's back to the mentality that there's just sick, perverted men that you can't avoid seeing skin online these days. And if you've already got a bit of a cooked mindset, a cooked brain from maybe you've been exposed to all this with bad pictures at an early age, it's a natural progression as well, is to go younger or to go whatever it is. So sadly, there's a lot of mentally disturbed people that this is going to affect, and they're the ones that are buying the subscription. So it's very, very sad. How many married men, or well, I know we did the statistics before.
Yeah.
I think it was like 35%.
I know the number was
were
high.
like married men on there.
Yeah.
I think people that were in a relationship was like 50 or 60%.
Yeah.
But I think married was like over 35% or something. So you've also got married men that will be looking at this.
Yeah, I'll throw a little challenge out there to any married men or men in a relationship. Besides the other men who are just doing this, you do you. We obviously think there's better things to spend your money on, but first and foremost, from a morality point of view, someone who's in a marriage, right, or in a relationship, if you are spending, we're in a cost of living crisis. We are in a cost of living crisis. So this message is for the majority of people in this country and other countries as well, that if you are spending money on an OnlyFans account when you can't take your family on a holiday or you can't pay your power bill on time, this doesn't mean you can go and buy that subscription if you're doing all these things well, but just to make you feel the pinch a little bit, if you're out there spending money on perversion and yet your family at home and your kids who you sit down next to on the couch and watch TV with, or your wife who sits there and puts up with your nonsense, if you're taking money, and she doesn't know, but if you're taking money from their pocket, which is your role as a father and a husband to provide and keep them secure and look after them and love them and be honest, you're taking money from them and you're pouring it into a sickness and a perversion, and you're empowering the people on the other side to go deeper, and then people like your daughter look up to people like this and think this is the way out. This is a dangerous path for kids and women, and it's a really, really bad path to go on. And I'm just saying, step up as a man. Step up, go and talk to someone about it, get some help, break the curse. But if you don't, it'll grow. It'll grow and grow and grow, and it will take over your life, and you will spend more and more money on these people because I've seen other OnlyFans girls, they've talked about how much they have, like older guys will send them random money, tens of thousands just to come and meet them.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. If you're a man out there watching this, it's not uncommon to be feeling like this. But as you said, it's a slippery slope. But if you feel guilt straight away, whether it's pornography, paying for something like this, an ounce of you feels that guilt straight away, you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I guarantee 99% of people doing this feel guilt straight away.
As they should.
If you know that, if that's happening, it's time to make a change.
Yeah, it is. It's a message that, man, you're just getting taken hold of by what is evil. And this doesn't even have to be something that's like a Christian thing. You know our backgrounds, but this is about, like, man, if you've got a family and we're living in a cost of living crisis and you're spending money on your perversion, the message is to step up and switch on and cut those accounts and ask for forgiveness and move on. And don't support Billis, because as much as Lil Tay thinks we're just all haters, we're just looking and going, we feel sorry for you. I mean, you look at what we're rewarding in society. I looked up a few other people, so real talents, so she's made $1 million in 3 hours. So what's that? $333,000 an hour, right? What do you think someone like Ronaldo, right, is the number one soccer player in the world, or at least was the number one player in the world? His talent, which he's worked his entire life for and still is now, and he's a positive influence on the society and the community around him, and he's a father and he has kids, he makes about $30,000 an hour, right? That's a lot of money, right? I'm just saying he makes about that. Oh, go the other side. Taylor Swift, or any lefties watching who love Taylor Swift. I don't love Taylor Swift, but someone who has an ounce of talent. If she still writes songs, I know she doesn't write many of them anymore, but she used to write her songs. She can clearly perform. She's talented. She's gifted in whatever she does. She makes about $25,000 to $40,000 an hour based on her earnings every year. There's plenty of others. The Rock Johnson, I think he $20,000, $30,000 an hour, right? People who have dedicated their life to a skill set or acting, or
they still have probably sold their soul to the devil.
Of course.
But it's a clearer, nicer image than this kind of stuff.
Well, at least there's something that shows some kind of hard work. In reference to, say, Ronaldo, Tyson Fury, great story, boxer. His was about $25,000 an hour, right? So these are people who have dedicated. I mean, Tyson Fury has done a lot of work. He's brought himself out of dark places, right? Out of mental breakdowns, out of suicide thoughts, out of being nothing to coming back and being everything. From the day he was born to now, trains extremely hard, and that's what he's making, because he's offering something.
Yeah.
But then we've got a society of demented men who just don't know how to stand up against this stuff, who are rewarding someone like Lil Tay with $1 million in 3 hours. This is going to eventually crush her soul, and anyone else around her as well. And the parents, I say, shame on you, because you are not parenting. You are clearly going to profit off your daughter. And as far as I look at that, you haven't developed your brain as an 18-year-old. You haven't. You could go as far as saying, if I'm allowed to say this as an opinion, it's like a form of trafficking. If you're putting someone in a position, the parents have been allowing this from 7 years. What'd you say, 7 years?
9.
9 years. So from a 9-year-old, when she entered social media,
encouraged.
The parents encouraged it. The parents created the account. The parents gave her the phone. The parents put her on social media. And I bet if you followed the money, the parents are collecting.
What would Darren Hinch say?
Oh, should we
shame, shame, shame. And she's probably in California, so she's going to lose half of that in taxes anyway.
Yeah.
Especially now that she's publicly declared it. She needs to work with a good accountant.
Far out. But what a story, hey? Anyway, yeah, shame on the parents, because you're clearly profiting off this. And, there's so much more you could say on this. I just think about the people who want kids and don't get to have kids. And then you see stories like this where someone, it's not because she's making her own decisions, because she's been on social media for 9 years. So it's not like when people say, well, she's 18, she can do what she wants. I get that. But her parents, who have been there for the last 18 years, have allowed this to happen and have known that she was going to do this. She's not estranged from her parents. There's no story of that. They've endorsed it for the last 9 years. And so I think, man, what a kick in the face or the kick in the guts to people who want to have kids and would cherish the idea of raising a beautiful girl. And then you've got other parents out here who are clearly profiting off their daughter, selling her soul online. It's wicked. Next story, as we come to a close, the Clintons have been subpoenaed. Jono, this week we can just go through this quick. I'm not sure if you've got a list there. Maybe look up Benny's list of who's been subpoenaed. But the Clintons have been a whole bunch of people. It's all around the Epstein stuff. It's a congressional oversight committee regarding Epstein stuff.
But the Epstein stuff was a hoax.
Well, who knows? Ooh, you got that's a loaded statement right there. Let's see what they got to say.
I'm just saying what Trump said.
Well, in developing news this morning, Bill and Hillary Clinton are amongst a list of high-profile figures who've been subpoenaed by the US Congressional Committee. The investigation is in relation to the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case. David Blevins reports from Washington.
It is very rare for congressional oversight to demand a deposition from a former president of the United States. The House Oversight Committee had already subpoenaed Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend and accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, but it's now added to that list former President Bill Clinton, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, a number of former Attorneys General of the United States, and a former FBI director. That is significant for several reasons. It demonstrates bipartisan momentum on transparency because Democrats voted with Republicans for this to happen. It also means the committee will now hear from people with known ties to Jeffrey Epstein, the late paedophile and sex trafficker. Bill Clinton's connections to him, for example, have been well documented. And it sets up a potential showdown between the Department of Justice and Congress, because if the US Attorney General Pam Bondi continues to refuse to release the Epstein files, then it will simply fuel concerns about a constitutional crisis in America. Of course, all of the noise around this largely arises from Donald Trump, the candidate, vowing to release the files, and then a government led by Donald Trump, the president, choosing not to do so. And the fact that it is a headline every day right now shows the enduring public interest in this case and in the demand for accountability.
What's your thoughts, John?
Well, Bill Clinton is the number one person involved with the whole Epstein stuff, in my opinion.
You mean like the highest profile person?
He 100%. He's the one who had Epstein visit him over a dozen times in the White House. Why? He was on the flight logs, I'm guessing 20 to 30 times at least. I'm sure there's higher numbers. There's the picture of him in a dress in Epstein's apartment in New York.
Yep.
There's pictures with him, with Prince Andrew and others with girls underage. Yep. He's most likely the most compromised and involved in this situation. However, it's going to be curious to see how this plays out because, again, Trump came out and said it's all a hoax. Now you've got both sides voting on all of this. In my opinion, it's like everything I say on here. I hope things happen. I hope people are held accountable because we know these sickos are involved to a certain level. But what's going to stop them pleading the fifth, coming out there and simply just going up there, saying nothing happened, pleading their case again, obviously shutting up essentially, and then it goes away? That's, in my opinion, what's going to happen again. Maybe I'm saying that so I don't get let down when it actually does happen. And I'd love people like Bill to be held accountable, but I see nothing happening.
Yeah, it can always just seem like it's a bit of a show, these congressional hearings. It always just seems to be people get there and they say, "I don't recall, I cannot recall," or "I choose to invoke my right to plead the fifth. I just plead the fifth. I don't recall, I plead the fifth," and it goes on and on. I guess the flip side is, if Bill Clinton gets up there and pleads the fifth, if Hillary pleads the fifth, do you think that people would now start to look at it and go, "Hang on"?
Well, it looks guiltier, yeah.
You look guilty, right?
Of course, but it doesn't stop it going from any further. Like, because that whole list, is there people on there that might actually open their mouth? Do you think they're worried about that?
Maybe it just takes one person.
All it does. But
just takes one person.
They're probably being threatened as we speak
There's a
keep your
call.
mouth.
They're all getting together. There's a little Zoom call between the Clintons are holding a Zoom
Who's
call.
the weakest link?
Who's the weakest link?
Yeah.
I agree, for sure. This is the painting, if they can put that up on the screen for the guy. This is the painting of Bill. This is in Epstein's house. I'm pretty sure this is the one in his property in Manhattan, which also he was gifted, if those who don't know that. Look that up. He was gifted like a $76 million property in Manhattan.
From Robert Maxwell, right?
I can't remember. Was it Robert Maxwell?
Well, that's where his funds apparently went missing.
And this is what you look at when you walk in. This is the front door. This is Bill Clinton in a blue dress, red heels, pointing at you as you walk in. It's pretty creepy.
It's very creepy.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
And people are obviously talking about, the list. Okay, why hasn't it been released? And again, I don't know if this is a bit of a smoke show or smoke screen. Like, why are we even talking about this congressional hearing? There's other stuff going on. The stuff's still going on with Russia.
Is it a
stuff still
distraction?
going 100%? It feels like it's always a distraction. But I wonder with the list, right? If anyone hasn't seen, I did a bit of a video with 3 kind of scenarios I thought that could be a play as to why Trump isn't releasing the list. I still think that's very much the case, that there's just a bigger play at hand or leverage. I still think there's something to do. Obviously, it's pretty well spoken about now and almost not mainstream, but definitely amongst podcasters everywhere. They just talk about Mossad being a big player in this honeypot scheme run by Jeffrey Epstein. And that was intelligence agency blackmailing people. And I still think it's a big part of, Donald Trump's wish to be a peacemaker, a wish to have peace in the Middle East. And Bibi Netanyahu was in Washington a couple of days before Trump changed his tune. I still think it's a big play to like, hey, if you want to be the president of peace, I'm going to destroy this idea of peace over here. If this comes out, you've got to shut it down, because I feel like Trump's in a weird spot, but it only takes one of these people. There could be chess going on. We don't know. I just think that they probably all plead the fifth. I agree with you.
Put it this way, if nothing comes of this, and if Trump comes out and pardons Diddy or Ghislaine Maxwell, if he comes out and pardons both or one of them, I'm done with him.
Why would he?
I'm done with him.
Why do you think
there's no going back from that? No. Like, I know that's a big call. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't see the good things he's done.
Right.
I'm not oblivious to that.
Right.
But if he goes as far as to pardon them, especially Maxwell, and then nothing comes of it, I'm done. It means he's completely sold out and he's
he
gone.
hasn't given any indication that he would.
Not yet. I know that's a lot of he said, she said.
Yeah.
So again, it's probably just headlines.
I would say.
But if he does, I'm done.
Okay. Why do you think he would pardon Diddy? I don't get that. Why would he pardon Diddy?
Well, it doesn't make sense. Both the cases, Epstein and Diddy, are both agency run, CIA, Mossad, whoever it might be. They're both, operations run by the government.
So why would you pardon
on different levels? But
why would anyone get a pardon?
Well, regardless, Diddy is a filthy guy, and regardless, I know he's got off on 99% of the charges.
Yeah.
Regardless, if you even believe most of that, and he's just a filthy freak off kind of guy, and because a lot of the things were consensual, and a lot of the things were just filthy.
Yeah.
But even what he did to Cassie, belting the crap out of her,
He was never
he's
charged
still
for it, yeah.
not a good guy.
Yeah.
So regardless, if you still see him, well, maybe he's just a bit aggressive and he's a freak. Why would you still pardon that?
Yeah, but what's the point of someone getting
There's
a
no
pardon?
point unless you're being told to pardon them.
Right.
Which comes back to Israel, most likely Israel again. So if he pardons them, he's owned.
The other side is that the only reason I could imagine he would give someone a pardon, and this is in support of Trump, would be if Maxwell decides to give him everything.
Yeah. If he pardons him and there's a reason, that's different.
Right.
But if there's no reason, it's just a straight pardon and nothing's done of it, then there's a problem.
I thought the only reason he would pardon someone like Maxwell
get information.
To get like real information, because it'd be like, hey, I want you on film.
Now
we can
that
prove
I get.
Yeah, we can prove it's not AI.
100.
I want written. I want signed. I want your fingerprints.
Same with Diddy.
I want the full. Yeah, it'd be like, we won everybody.
That I get.
And then you guys get a pardon.
Yep.
There's still going to be people who will be in uproar because they're like, what?
Yeah. If you do get solid information that brings people down, I get that.
But you know what won't work? If they do that and then don't release anything. Because
that's why I'm saying I'll be done with him.
If you just if you just come out and say it. So if he gets out there and goes, we applaud Maxwell for her cooperation. She's given us a very lengthy not under duress, and she has told us everything we need to know about all the players. We have everything. She's given us more tapes. She's told us where things are, and we're giving her a pardon based on everything she's told us. I don't think that's enough for the American people.
But if you don't release it to the public,
if you don't release it to the public, they will be on the streets.
You're done. 100%.
So I think he has to be pretty.
He did come out and just said he has the ability when someone asked him. That's what he.
That's
what
just
he
him.
said.
That's just
he
him.
said, "Yeah, I have the ability to do it," but he hasn't given any thought.
That's his classic.
So let's see.
I might do it. I might not do it. I might do it. If I do it, it'll be great if I do it. But I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I might not do it. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Mixed bag there. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, you can go ahead and subscribe to the show. You can follow us both on the social medias and X. We are on every platform, but you can tag, follow, share the episode with someone else. But the best way to help us right now is to subscribe on the channel. I'm going away for a couple of weeks. I'm taking some stuff with me, so I'm going to be in the States. I'm hoping to film some stuff over there, but I don't know if John and I are going to get a chance to do it together. It might be via a Zoom setup, which will be good. But until next time, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.